It's me, Zenobia Darling. You're listening to #RockstarLife, the Coffee Break Podcast. Let's go. Where the hell's my cold brew at?
Ooh, what's up, guys? It's me, Zenobia Darling. I am coming at you today. It is Monday, January 20th, 2025. It is currently 7:38 p.m. in the evening, and it is 20.8 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It's cold as fuck, and I figured to warm everybody up, I would give you guys a nice roast of the inauguration day that happened today, because I had off work today, and it's so fucking cold here in Maryland that I went for a little train spotting drive through Cecil County. Didn't see any trains. Apparently, freight trains aren't running today because I wanted to take my camera out and get some nice snowy winter shots of freight trains and graffiti and all that fun stuff. But I came home from that. I just been working on some art and some writing in my art studio while I had on the inauguration festivities on the news or on the TV today. So I'm taking it in. And I'm sitting there, and I'm going to be very blunt with you. I've smoked a little bit of weed, so my stand-up comedy brain is very much engaged. And I figured, guys, we got to make fun of it. There's a lot to make fun of with this whole inauguration day. And it's not just on Trump, too. It's Biden and the whole Democrats, everything, all of it. It's all a dog and pony show, and it was like a fucking reality show. And I was like, I got a bitch. So here I am on mic, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this little mini espresso shot episode where I'm roasting the fuck out of the inauguration. And before I get into the roast, I just want to say this, guys. I am a professional stand-up comic, okay? I'm also a drag superstar, but I do stand-up comedy. I've been doing it for years. It's my favorite form of performing. I do it on the mic a lot of times. You know, it's my favorite thing. And I have a stand-up comedy prism in my brain that I've developed over the years. And I run everything through it, no matter how dark or taboo the topic is. I just make fun of everything because when you laugh at stuff, it's easier to get through. And also, there's just a lot of things that only me with my unique perspective and my, pop culture and reality TV intellect can really point out about this event today and just about the Trump presidency. That, guys, I gotta roast it. So don't take anything seriously. This is not a anti-Trump or anti-Biden anything. I'm just making fun of the ruling elites, because that's another thing that pisses me off that I just want to say too. I don't care who you vote for. If you voted for Trump, if you voted for Harris, if you voted for an independent or an independent third-party person, I really don't care. As long as you're engaging and you have your political beliefs, that's on you. But at the same time, we all are a collective society, and we are making fun of our ruling elites and are the top rulers, and it's punching up as a stand-up comic. So always remember that, and just have a sense of humor. Laugh at this stuff. It makes it so much easier to take with. So with all that said, let's get into the festivities today, because there was a lot of bullshit happening. There was a lot of I always say it today felt like the first time I turned it on today, and I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, we have another season of the Real Housewives of the Oval Office happening. And there's a lot. I mean, I could do a whole thesis on this. There's a lot happening with this Trump White House, and honestly with the Democrats too, that it's shifting into a reality show. So this is actual fact. This is actually my scholarly brain coming out. Donald Trump is a reality star, and he's the first reality star to ascend to the platform of someone in our ruling elite and the actual powers to be in our government. So the ruling elite, the government always has a dog and pony show. There's always political theater. Under Trump, it shifted from more of the Reagan era political theater, because Reagan, this is another thing. Reagan was a movie star. He brought in the old Hollywood system to the Oval Office, and it made people so the presidency could be on television. And it was more in that old school kind of corporate media one, and he definitely knew how to play the president part, because he is an actor. Always remember that. And he's an actor with his throat goat wife. Nancy Reagan, who loved to suck dick allegedly. And you know what? Good for her, honey. Good for you. Maybe you should just say no to constant blowjobs. But hey, we knew who held the power. It was her with Reagan's fat cock in her mouth. So, but with Reagan, we saw it, and it's kind of been that way through the Clintons and through George Bush. Of course, there's a lot to make fun of with George Bush too. Oh my God, I just go on YouTube and just type in George Bush gaffes. It's just the fucking things he would say. Like, oh, that's a good-looking mom. No, that was Bill Clinton. George Bush is a fucking mess. He just butchers the English language, and he's just a Texas hillbilly. But that's beside the point. And Obama is a statesman. Obama knew how the game is played. But then you get fucking Trump, and it started with that election between Trump and Hillary because Hillary was playing the old school one, and Trump comes in as a fucking reality star. I mean, he was on The Apprentice. He was in the media game and knew how to use the media to be a celebrity. And that is something that we have seen time and time again with reality shows, especially when celebrities or people of power and status kind of come into there. You see the media games, all that stuff. That started happening under Trump. So we've had a complete shift in political theater to be a fucking reality show. And as dark as that is to say, guys, you got to make fun of it. And with my brain, it's like, let's go. Season, what is it? This is probably I think it's season 4 of the Real Housewives at Oval Office, but it's back. And I would definitely say, Donald Trump is a fucking Real Housewife for sure. I would say he's probably a Ramona Singer with a rising Lisa Rinna. And I say that because Ramona Singer, one of my favorite housewives, truly awful person, kind of narcissistic, kind of selfish, kind of ridiculous, needs the spotlight, isn't afraid to be a little dramatic, So, and New York, and Ramona is a New Yorker. She lives part-time in West Palm Beach. She did vote for Trump. There's a lot of similarities between Trump. Actually, there's a lot of, it's Jill Zarin too. I could also see Jill Zarin being very Trumpian, but that's the kind of, that's kind of Trump's made him. I mean, there's a lot of similarities. So kind of view Trump as Ramona Singer. And I say a rising Lisa Rinna. Lisa Rinna is my all-time favorite housewife of I love that woman. But you see how Lisa Rinna has that media game. She doesn't say no to any work. So she'll do a fucking Depends commercial. And Donald Trump has that. Another person who has that was Joan Rivers and Kathy Griffin. There's this thing where it's like you work, you don't turn down work. You were always in front of the media, always, that type of thing. That's what Lisa Rinna did. The only reason she did The Housewife was because she said, quote, it's good real estate. So Trump has that ability. He has that personality like Lisa Rinna. Totally different people, but Trump is Ramona Singer with a rising Lisa Rinna. In astrology, when you're like, well, my moon is in so-and-so, but I'm a rising Taurus or something like that. Trump is a Ramona Singer with a rising Lisa Rinna because it's not fully like Lisa Rinna, but there's a lot of traits with Lisa Rinna that Trump has in common. So, because Ramona doesn't really understand the media game. She really doesn't. You can tell, but that is who Trump is. And he's a media freak, and he has that stand-up comic, workaholicism in him. And that's, honestly, I wasn't gonna get into Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin is she is my stand-up comedy mentor. I love Kathy Griffin. If it wasn't for that woman, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I used to watch all of her specials and My Life on the D-List. I would watch it and be like, that's what I want my life to look like. And I fucking love comedy. I want to try to do stand-up comedy. And if it wasn't for Kathy Griffin, you wouldn't be having the podcast now. And with this whole thing between Trump and Kathy Griffin, I think the reason why Trump went after her is because Kathy Griffin and Trump have a lot of similarities, and Kathy knows how Trump operates and just knows Trump. And Trump didn't want that. So he's like, watch this, and kind of slammed her. I don't really think that Kathy deserved it, but at the same time, I don't, there's a lot there. With that photo, I don't think it was in the best taste, but at the same time, again, she's a stand-up comic and she was trying out comedy. And when you do comedy and you get that prism, sometimes you're going to land a joke. Sometimes you're going to cross that line and it's not funny. And I kind of think she did that. But at the same time, Kathy Griffin, I love her. I love that woman. When I found out that she tried to suicide herself, I was so crushed. because Kathy means the world to me. And it's like one of those things where, and she's a punk rock queen. She really is this punk rock queen. And she's one of the greatest stand-up comics we've ever had. And I keep pointing this out also just with Trump and kind of being like a Real Housewife is Trump, like during this age of Trump, the people who are calling out truth to power now, it's not the journalists, it's stand-up comics. And the people who really are the philosophers of our time. You think back to ancient Greece, you have Plato, you have Aristotle, you have Plato, you have Socrates, you have all those people. I think I said Plato twice, but I'll just leave it in, whatever. I'm just going to be blunt. I did smoke a little weed today, so I am a little stoned right now. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, in this day and age, the philosophers of our time are stand-up comics. And remember that, because they're the people who don't give a fuck. And also, they understand how Trump... I know how Trump operates. I mean, as dark as it is that he runs our country, you know, there's a lot to make fun of because he's a fucking character. And that's the thing. Like, you can make comedy out of him so much, and it's punching up. And that's something to always remember, because I really think of the people who really are saying the truth right now and are really calling things out in our ruling elite and in our government, and it really is the comics. So remember that. But that's why Trump doesn't really like comics, although he did pander to a few of them trying to win this last election. But at the same time, Democrats, you should have done better. You should have fucking did better. Okay? You know, it's ridiculous. Like, you know what? I'm just going to go there. What is going on with Biden's age? Because it's not just age that's making him the way he is. This is all my thoughts. This is all allegedly. Don't take anything I say seriously. I'm a drunk drag queen in a bar. But like, I had a grandfather that died of Parkinson's disease, and I watched him suffer with it the last years of his life. There's a way that Biden looks, the way he acts, the mannerisms, that I'm like, that's not age. That to me looks like Parkinson's disease. And there has been cover-ups with the White House. It hasn't been reported on corporate news media because, again, guys, most corporate media is captured right now by either the DNC or the RNC. So remember that when you're watching news. Know who backs up the news that you're watching. Because if you watch independent media, like I watch Breaking Points, I watch Jimmy Dore, I do the independent stuff. And it's one of those things where I'm like, they're talking about it because there has been cover-ups because he's been seeing a Parkinson's specialist coming to the White House, signing into logbooks. Well, they asked Jean Pierre, whatever the fuck her name is, that press secretary, and straight up lied. And it's a cover-up. And that shit pisses me off because anyone with a brain that knows anything about Parkinson's or dementia or anything like that is like, what the fuck's happening? And I started noticing this in like 2021. I noticed it. So I'm just like, that shit annoys me. And the fact that he clung to power and how just piss poor the Democrats have been doing. You thought you would learn something with fucking Hillary. You didn't. So you put Biden there, run on the soul of the country, when in reality, the Democrats do just as much dirty, anti-democratic bullshit as the Republican Party. But yet they're pretending like they're this moral high ground. And then it's like, they just look like hypocrites. That's what's going on. In the meantime, you know, you go to the fucking grocery store, you're spending $100 and you're probably getting two bags of groceries and no meat. Like, no, you know, like that, you're not. It's bullshit. You know, go look at a house. I'm trying to move, get an apartment. You can't find an apartment cheaper, or you can, but it's a crack house on an air shaft. You know, you can't find a fucking apartment, a decent one that is of Zenobia Darling standards for under like $1,500. It's fucking nuts. You know, I saw one the other day that was $1,200 a month, fucking in the worst part of town. It looked like it had been updated in about 20 years. And I'm not, you know, like I can live kind of, you know, I'm from Baltimore, just remember that. But like, what the fuck? Like, you know, my old apartment I had 10 years ago in Havre de Grace, I paid $650 a month for rent. Do you know how much that? I looked at that same apartment. I said, or that same apartment building, same apartment as that. It's now $1,300. It still has the same fucking cabinets. Oh yeah. So I'm like, that's what they're missing. And then it's like, you know, I'm getting sick of all this like just random mishigas that keeps happening. Because, again, it's both sides. Remember that. It's fucking both sides. And the fucking Democrats should have did better. You guys, Biden shouldn't have ran again. He should have stepped down back when they were doing that so we could actually have a primary. Democrats rigged the primary, which is fucking bullshit. Didn't have one. And then they anointed Kamala Harris. That's the biggest problem. Because Hillary had the same fucking shit. Going up there acting like it was her time. It's her time to be president. Bitch, you don't have that choice. We, the people of America, have that choice. And you, like, I don't know. I know I'm ranting, but it really pisses me off because it's like, Democrats, do fucking better. Do fucking better because you look like bozos. And, I mean, the Republican, they had leadership under Trump. I mean, as much as there is to say, you know, they did a good job and they fucking won the White House. And that last vote, I mean, it wasn't just oh, well, she won the popular vote and he won the Electoral College. I mean, Trump won both by a landslide. And Trump keeps talking how it's a rejection of Biden and Harris. And I kind of agree with that. And I kind of, you know, it went back to like when Biden and Harris took office, it went back to like the old, but there was still a lot of bullshit happening. And it just like this is the thing about the Democrats. They're a little bit cleaner about their shadiness and about their bullshit. Whereas the Republicans, they have like a shamectomy. I'll talk about this later because I one of the quotes I have from the best moments of today, it says, Trump has a Kristen Doty shamectomy. But the Republicans do have like a shame. You got Lauren Boebert giving a blowjob at a Beetlejuice play, a live theater concert with kids, and get kicked out. They don't have the shame, you know. But then the Democrats, oh, we're running to save the soul of America. Oh, well, you know. But at the same time, look at this. Look into this bullshit. Look into Burisma. Look into that. Let's prop up Israel to bomb the shit out and kill everyone in Gaza. You know, it's shit like that. That's annoying. Meanwhile, you know, people are like, oh, well, I hope the cost of eggs gets you with women's reproductive rights. It's so crazy. And it's like, get off. And like, that's the other thing, guys. For the next 4 years, get off social media. Go out, live your life, make art, spend time with loved ones, family and friends. You know, and not only this, guys, this is another thing. This is my little soapbox real quick about this. Just because someone voted for an opposing political party from your personal beliefs does not mean that person is a bad person, okay? The enemy is not, or I shouldn't even say the enemy. That sounds so dramatic, like what a lot of Christian people, which we'll get into because there's a lot of that faux Christianity that was happening today. But like, there's this thing where it's like, you know, like the guy across the street from you that has a Trump, you know, JD Vance sign in their front yard is not the enemy, okay? The dude across the street that has a Biden-Harris flag, or the lesbian couple that has a sign that says Biden-Harris with a rainbow flag, they're not the fucking enemy, okay? The trans person's not the enemy. The immigrant's not the enemy. It's not. We are all a collective working class, and the true enemy, honestly, is our ruling elites. I'm very punk rock. I'm very anarchist like that. Remember that. Remember that, because these people all work on the same team. Democrat, Republican, it's different sides of the same shitty coin. So please remember that, and make sure that just because someone voted for someone else, still there's so many other things that you guys have in common. Talk about it. You don't have to talk about politics. Talk about what the local town drunk is doing, you know, or read the police blotter and you know, see what the local white trash messes are doing, or, you know, go to Walmart and sit and people watch, you know, and talk about that. There's so many other things you could talk about besides the political party, and Trump is the type where he makes it so he just takes the oxygen out of the room, and you have to think about that man every fucking minute of the day with his endless parade of bullshit. And it's like, guys, disengage, go out in nature, get off your phones, get off TikTok, get off Instagram, get off Facebook. And also, guys, don't go on Facebook and rant political posts every fucking chance you get. It's so exhausting. You will not survive the next 4 years if you do that fucking shit. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts, and it's annoying. So, I don't know. It's just, there we go. All right, with that said, I've been talking for 18 minutes. I'm going to put the ad break in here. I'll be right back, and we're going into it. We are going into this fucking inauguration. So, and plus, I'm cold, so it'll warm us up. All right, ad break. I gotta pay for all this damn coffee I'm drinking and tea I'm spilling. What's up, art lovers? It's me, Zenobia Darling. Did you know I'm more than just a drag rock star? I'm also a very accomplished painter photographer, and you can check it all out on ZenobiaDarlingCreative.com. Sponsored by the Harford County Cultural Arts Board, my blog, #RockstarLife, the arts blog. It explores all my creativity right when it crashes into local culture. Explore my neo-expressionistic fine art, my editorialized goth photography, and this is the best part, you can buy my original paintings and you can spruce up your boring-ass walls, because every wall needs some glittering Zenobia Darling on them. So go check out Zenobia Darling Creative. The link is in the episode description. Ooh, what's up, Glamazons? It's Zenobia Darling, and you know my rock stardness doesn't just happen, right? It's crafted to perfection at Odyssey Salon and Day Spa in Aberdeen. Let me spill my secret. Abby, my badass stylist, is the mastermind behind my iconic glittering blonde mohawk. Whether you want to spike it up, smooth it out, dye it a killer shade, or just add that extra edge to your hair, the crew at Odyssey have the magic to make you feel like the superstar you truly are. And it's not just about hair. They keep my nails sharp, my skin polished, and every visit is an absolute blast. And here's the best part, my darlings. Odyssey isn't just about looking fierce. It is a safe space where us LGBT folks can feel right at home, shining as our truest selves. So if you're ready to live your own #Rockstar life and embrace your creative spirit, get yourself to Odyssey Salon and Day Spa in Aberdeen. Tell them Zenobia sent you and show the world how fabulous us rock stars look. And you never know, you might run into yours truly. The link to book your visit to unlock your fabulosity is in the episode description. Hey there, ghost-loving rebels. It's Zenobia Darling, your paranormal punk rock queen. We premiered my newest art film, Ethereal Anarchy, Zenobia Darling's Haunted Revolution, on November 1st with my opening reception of my immersive art exhibition, The Paranormal Realm Beyond the Lore. Let me tell you, Part 1 of this film captured one of the most profound paranormal experiences I've ever had, and it was met with roaring applause and accolades. And yes, we filmed it in true punk rock fashion to bring you even more content. But Huns, the revolution is just getting started, and we need you to bring Part 2 to life. We have so much more content from Part 1 that we want to include, plus we're actively filming for Part 2. So we're pushing paranormal storytelling to the edge in true aspirational punk rock fashion. Your support fuels every haunting moment of this journey. From ghost hunting gear to fair crew pay, every dollar you contribute keeps things spooky and queer just the way it should be. Join the Haunted Revolution. You can find the link to our GoFundMe in the episode description and help us raise the dead and the funds. All right, guys, and we are back. So it actually dropped in temperature outside. So in the past 20 minutes, it is now 19.7 degrees outside. So it's only at 44% humidity, but it's like, God, it's fucking dry in here. You can probably tell in my voice, but I'm drinking some rooibos tea. You know, I'm old now, so I can't have caffeine past about 2 p.m. in the afternoon or I won't sleep at night. So after about 2 p.m., I drink decaffeinated tea or coffee or water. I don't really do soda, but I do Baja Blast. So, so I'm drinking some hot rooibos tea to keep warm. But let's really get into it because, quite frankly, roasting this is going to keep me warm. So right off the bat, I just want to say this also, kind of piggybacking off of the Real Housewives of the Oval Office. Elon Musk fucking made his jolly autistic ass up there dancing and craziness, all in shoving his face in front of the camera, talking. He fucking did a Nazi salute, which like a Third Reich salute. Like, what the fuck, Elon? Like, are you that socially inept? Like, and I'm not making fun of him because he's autistic. I'm making fun of him because he's but like, he's just a fucking goon bat. Like, with your kid X, who you had with Grimes, who's one of the best pop singers ever. God, how lucky is Grimes though? Side note, but like Elon Musk is up there. And I'm just going to say this. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are going to have a Real Housewives style falling out, all for the media to watch. And they're both going to play into it. It's going to play out on Twitter and X. And it's going to play out on all the media things. It's going to be like when Jill Zarin and Bethany Frankel stopped becoming friends on season 3 of Real Housewives of New York City, the legacy one. They had a falling out. It's going to be messy and it's going to be juicy. And quite frankly, I'm going to pop popcorn and take in every second because you know those two messy ass queens. You get Donald Trump, fucking just a rage texter, a rage tweeter, just a fucking sociopathic nightmare. And then you get Elon Musk, a socially inept oligarch billionaire who, I mean, Elon has these fucking like beliefs that he needs to fuck women and get them pregnant because he needs to spread his seed. Like, what type of bullshit is that, Elon? Like, ugh. God, and then fucking X, little baby or little toddler X was up there dancing. Like, Elon, what's up? So they're all buddy right now. So this is definitely like, you know, when a good Real Housewives show, it's you know, they're friends for a few episodes and then the cracks start forming and then they start having a falling out. So by like mid-season towards the season finale, they're fucking fighting and it's juicy and it's good. Right now, it's like they've already come out that they're friends. You're already seeing some of the cracks happening with like Vivek or whatever his name is. And it's starting to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen with Elon. I can feel it. He's going to be, because there's already stuff coming out where he's like, you know, Trump's trying to distance himself from Elon and stuff like that. Or closest source to Trump say that they're trying to distance himself. And it's like, no, they're not. They're doing it. And it's just going to get messier and messier to the point where you're going to have fucking, I hope, you know what, going back to season 3 of RHONY, I hope that they walk across the Brooklyn Bridge and have just a messy, nasty fight like Bethany Frankel did with Ramona Singer, where Ramona Singer called Bethany out for all her bullshit, walking across the damn Brooklyn Bridge, going to Brooklyn to visit Alex and Simon's townhouse that was in the middle of being renovated. That's what I want. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then you're going to have the fucking View talking about it, which don't get me started on the fucking View because I hate that damn show. They just like, I don't know. I hate The View, but they're going to be talking about it. It's going to be constantly talked about in the things. You know, the late night stand-up comics, they really kind of suck right now, like Stephen Colbert or any of them. Those guys are not going to talk about that much because they're kind of like, they're not edgy anymore, but the comics are going to be talking about it, and I'm going to be talking about it. So you know it's going to happen. I can't wait for every glorious moment of it because, again, guys, it's going to be good. It's going to be entertaining, and this is the reality we live in, so let's just make fun of it. Let's make fun of these two rich bozos, these rich, powerful idiots just fighting. It's funny. It's funny. It is. They're going to have it. I can see it happening. All right, guys, so let's get into the best moments because I'm sitting there watching it today with my oil pastels, and I'm just like, there's a lot of bullshit here. And I've also been watching a lot of stand-up comedy specials lately because I'm trying to get I want to develop more as a stand-up comic. I'm already pretty developed, but I want to develop more. So I've been watching a lot of stand-up comedy specials. So I already have like my brain is in that mode. So just watching it, just like I started with the fact that it got moved indoors. I mean, again, it's 19 degrees outside. It got moved indoors, all those fucking people coming. I remember when Obama got inaugurated, it was cold as fuck that day. It's always cold on Inauguration Day because it happens in January, okay? Which I think is stupid. Like, you can't make it in fucking, like, April when it's nice out or, like, fucking July, you know? I mean, it's half the time it's nice in November. Let's do it in November. They got to wait till the middle of fucking January. It's always cold. So it was bitterly cold today, so they move everything indoors. And, of course, I have a lot of live feeds. I have a lot of D.C. people that I know. I mean, I don't live that far from D.C., and I used to live there. And I have family that live in the suburbs of D.C. And, so I'm seeing all the shit coming up on social media. You get the fucking the trumped-out trucks with the flags, with all the America bullshit on them, driving around D.C. And, like, D.C. is a very liberal place. It's a very woke, liberal place. And the people there just don't want to deal with it. The city's a fucking fortified bunker. It's probably fortified more than Baghdad right now. Baghdad or like Kabul. But it's ridiculous. So then you get they have a bunch of like police red, white, and blue lights on them and these paint jobs that are like, oh, Donald Trump. And you know, Trump loves it because anytime he sees his name or anything like that on there, it's just like, you know, and they're going around the neighborhoods and like everyone's pissed because, you know, a bunch of people flew in. I don't really think a lot of people would flow in, but like, so they have to go watch it from the first, or no, it was the Verizon Center. Now it's the Capital One Arena. So that's where they're watching his bullshit. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They're in the Capitol Rotunda. I was like, this is some bullshit. Like, this whole thing is just such a crock of shit. And I'm like, oh my God. So then it gets into it. So we get all the, we get them arriving. And I just want to say this. Joe Biden, I think after everything that happened with the Democrats this summer of him getting ousted by Nancy Pelosi, our insider trader and chief, I call her. Google it. She insider trades all the time. There's Twitter accounts making her stock market bets, and people get rich because she does insider trading when they sent Martha to jail for 5 months. 20 years ago. So I'm very bitter about Nancy Pelosi. I think she's a bitch. I hate her. And I think she looks like living death if she didn't get her hair done because her hair is fully gray because she's in her fucking 80s because we live in a gerontocracy pretty much. So, and Biden's up there. And I think after everything with Biden's just like, I don't think he fully was aware of where he was. I also think he kind of is happy that Donald Trump won because it's a big fuck you to everyone else. I think it's a big fuck you to the Democratic Party because the minute Trump rolls up, the minute he does, he gets out of the car, Joe Biden goes, "Welcome home, Donald." It's like, wow, Joe. And then you see the picture with the fire in the background. You could tell they're chummy. And it's like, and I quite frankly, I don't think Joe Biden knows what's happening. I think he's happy that he can spend more time in Rehoboth Beach at his house, by the beach being ridiculous, where he pretty much was all year. I'm just going to call that out. And then Trump he knew what he was doing. At least Melania, Melania was serving some high fashion. I love it. Melania serves some fashion. That is one thing I am very much looking forward to. Because I did write what I want out of the Trump presidency. I wrote that. That's what I'll end with. But like, I'll get into more about Melania there. But like, he goes up there and Trump's being all like happy and he plays the game and Trump, and this is what I talked about earlier by Donald Trump and a lot of the Republican parties, they have a shame-ectomy like Kristen Doty. So Stassi has called it out on Vanderpump Rules before where Kristen doesn't feel shame. And she just she'll talk shit about people or she doesn't have any social cues that she's not welcome or that it really is in bad taste if she goes to this thing and just will show up and not give a fuck and just be herself and just not care. Trump has that. And I think it's so funny because you get up there, you had fucking Hillary Clinton up there, who don't get me started on Hillary Clinton. You had Biden, and then you had Kamala Harris. Amy Klobuchar was up there because she's chair of the Inauguration Committee. So she's up there acting like this is like her rodeo. This is her spotlight into power with her I mean, can we be blunt? Now, if Amy Klobuchar, is her face like that because of bad Botox or is it did she have like a mini stroke? Because there's something something's a little fucked up about her face. And I'm just going to say this also about Amy. She might seem like she's all Midwestern nice. Google her and some of her outbursts that she's had on her campaign staff. Because Kamala Harris, the same thing, is they treat their staffs like shit. And Amy Klobuchar, I'm going to say Amy Coney Barrett. No, that's the Supreme Court bitch with like the 20,000 adopted kids. But Amy Klobuchar is notoriously awful to her staff members that are under her, notorious. So she's up there acting all fake, and you have all those people, and Trump just shows up and is acting all warm and stuff, and you're like, you could tell they all hate you. And it's like, I kind of watch that because a lot of the Democrats, it's like, they're so smug and they're so ridiculous, and then it's like they sit there and they force themselves to maintain this image of democracy. So they have to sit there and literally go to the fucking inauguration of Donald Trump. You had Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton there. Hillary famously lost to Donald Trump. She still showed up to the fucking inauguration. She even said it was one of the hardest days she ever did. And it's like, girl, you should have skipped it. Michelle Obama was like, I don't feel like fucking being there. I'm not going to be there. She didn't show up. So Obama shows up looking like Mr. Statesman, which he should have. But it's like one of those things where it's like they all have to show up. It sucks. It sucks. But they're sitting there forced to take it. I fucking love it because Trump doesn't give a shit. So after Trump gets sworn in, and I love it because Melania in there looking hot with that her outfit was really good. That's one thing. Melania knows how to dress, and I love it. She's up there holding the two Bibles for Donald Trump. Just puts his hand up, completely ignores the Bibles, which I'm like, that fucking tracks. Of course he would do that. And gets sworn in, and then fucking goes up and gives a speech, fucking tears Biden and Harris down. I'm surprised he didn't say, and we got crooked Hillary over there too. And I'm like, God, this fucking dude just has no shame. I'm telling you, it's like fucking Ramona Singer. It's insane to me, and it's so funny. And you could just tell they were pissed. They were pissed, and they're forced to sit there miserable. And it's like, that's what you fucking get, Democrats. Truly. You played the game. You played that fucking game with Hillary Clinton. See where it got you. You got back to the White House, and you did it again. You acted smug, and you acted like, we're not in a democracy, while playing the threat to democracy card, which was bullshit. And, you're sitting there having to watch him get elected and him tearing the fuck out of your entire legacy. So, hats off to that one, because that wasn't lost on me. So, and then it keeps going into the other thing I point out, the fucking fake praying. Like they constantly say the Lord's Prayer. Trump doesn't know what the fuck the Lord's Prayer is. When's the last time Trump went to church that wasn't like a media event? He's only going to church or doing the God Bless America or pandering to the Christian evangelicals because they have money, and he's pandering to them because he's trying to get elected. Trump knows shit about the president. Trump knows shit about religion. He doesn't know the Lord's Prayer. He just sits there, bows his head, and then he's probably singing like Taylor Swift's "Shake It Off" in his head. Like, he's not up there. He doesn't. I wish they would have more moments, because they didn't really pray with Trump there, but there was a lot of people up there. And let's pray to the great Father who art in heaven, and all that bullshit. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I'm not Christian. I mean, we've been over this. I'm not Christian, and I think it's really annoying. But there's also a lot of the faux Christianity happening where these people are, they say they're Christian and they're fucking not, because the way they act is not holy. It's not Christian-like, but they're going to say they're Christian, and they're going to say this because they want to use religious ideology to pass their bullshit. So it's just annoying. It's just fucking annoying. And it's just, I don't know. So there was a lot of that, a lot of Father who art in heaven, daily bread, bullshit. Yeah. And then fucking Trump starts signing executive orders. And once again, we have Amy Klobuchar there, trying to act like this. Like, she was acting like she was like the grandmother at a wedding, like truly. And then you get Trump signing in all these executive orders, like all the bullshit that he's starting. And like, he keeps signing in fucking Sharpie. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You're literally sitting there acting like it's an autograph signing. And then you went to the fucking Capital One Arena, which I have to say, it's not lost on me that the fucking that the Village People, of all people, fucking performed YMCA. The Village People they're gay. That is the gayest song there ever was. YMCA is one of the gayest songs ever, and I think it's so fucking hilarious that Trump plays it. Like, truly, what are you going to play now? Gloria Gaynor's "I Will Survive" or Lady Gaga's "Born This Way"? Like, for real, it's like, what the fuck? Like, that shit's not lost on me. That's not lost on me. The fact that one of the gayest songs from one of the gayest bands ever is who the campaign people love. I mean, it's fucking nuts. And then you sit there signing everything with fucking Sharpie. Like, fucking bozo. Just a fucking bozo. So those were my like moments from all of it. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more this week because I'm sure we're going to get a lot of Donald Trump and his endless bullshit. I mean, we already saw, Barron Trump's up there looking like I don't even know. He looks like he's in the fucking mafia. I'm just going to say it. You get, that bag of Xanax, Ivana's the mom. Ivanka, you get her and her Twinkie gay husband who talks like a fucking 2-year-old. Like, you get him up there, then you get fucking the one with the kid he had with Marla Maples. I forget her name. Of course, she's kind of unforgettable anyway. But like, she's up there always trying to get her like her comeuppance, and it's never gonna happen. And it's just you got the whole Trump family. Eddie Munster and what is it, Frankenstein? It looks like. I mean, I know Kathy Irvin calls it Eddie Munster and date rape, but I don't think he could even rape somebody because they're all just so fucking creepy. So you get the whole Trump family of just goons. I mean, the whole fucking family looks like they just look like they came out of a trailer park after winning $1 million. They all look so ghoulish, like just a real motley crew of just ridiculousness. And it's just, I'm so happy they're. I mean, I don't know. So it'll be interesting. And then it's just, fucking Melania Trump up there just still serving high fashion. I love the fact that they're so anti-immigrant. She's a fucking immigrant. That's not lost on me either. But okay, so I've been talking for like 40 minutes. I will say it is now getting colder in my apartment and I need to turn my heat on. So I'm going to wrap this up. Although I do feel warm that I'm bitching. So I do feel warm roasting this. So what I want out of a Trump presidency, again, guys, I didn't vote for him. I didn't. There, full disclosure, but this is the reality we live in, and I'm a comic. I'm going to make fun of it, but there is some things that I do want him to do. And so what I want out of a Trump presidency, first and foremost, I want UFO disclosure. I want the American government to be open and honest about UFO craft retrievals. I want full disclosure on Roswell and the Tic Tac or the TikTok video, or whatever the Tic Tac UFO. I want all that shit. I want Area 51. I want what happens at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I want the drone stuff. I want full UFO disclosure because it needs to happen because it's ridiculous. Like, and Trump has signaled that it's not his thing. It's not his thing, he famously said on Joe Rogan, but he has looked into it, and a lot of people around him are into it. So, it's just one of those things where I'm like, we need to do more. Like, we need to do UFO disclosure. I've said this before, I really hope that the cost of living goes down. I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't really think it's going to go down that much. But, I want to see more Melania Trump being a first lady. Because I felt like last time they never really gave her. They really tried to illegitimize Trump as president. So they really broke away from a lot of norms. And quite frankly, I think Melania Trump. I mean, I'm going to be blunt with you. All these people are awful people. So when they do monsters to each other, it's funny. That's how I'm looking at it. And Melania is just as awful as fucking Donald Trump. They're both awful people, but I want to see more fashion. I want to see more of what she brings to the table. I know everyone hated it. I fucking loved her Christmas decoration at the White House. I thought it was so gothically beautiful. It was such it was really good. I just liked it. So I want more of that. I want more Melania being the first lady, looking gorgeous. I want her more talking because English is not her first language, so she butchers the English language, and it's so beautiful. And I want more of like the, because there was a video where she was actually talking about the Christmas decorations. She's like, I don't want to talk about the fucking Christmas decorations. And it's like, I want her more butchering this language. I want her just being gorgeous. I want her, her fashion looking cunty. I want all that shit. I want more. And let's see. I want more trashy scandals from Donald Trump. I want the scandals that only a trash heap of a human being like Donald Trump can give. The Stormy Daniels scandal was beautiful because Stormy Daniels is just trash. I like Stormy Daniels. I love a porn star, but Stormy Daniels, it's that caliber of person. When she was on 60 Minutes Australia giving an interview back when all that shit broke, she straight up told the journalist was like, so Stormy, and I can't do can I do an Australian accent? Because it's CBS, it's not CBS, it's 60 Minutes Australia, it's the good one. So they're like, so Stormy, why aren't you lying? How do we know you're not lying? And she was like, I've showed the whole world my asshole. I don't have to lie. And I'm literally just like, oh my God, just the trashiness. I want one of those. And I think it might happen between Trump and Elon. I mean, truly, I would love to have more scandals like that. I want more spray tans out of Donald Trump. I want more bad spray tans. I want him looking like an orange Oompa Loompa. I noticed that his hair is graying more and his skin is getting very wrinkled up. So he's turning more and more into the fucking Crypt Keeper. So I am excited about that. I want more just awful hair. I want more, orange spray tan with the white eyes, because that bitch is tanning. He is. And I want moments where he's walking up the steps to Air Force One and there's a trail of toilet paper attached to his fucking leg. That's the shit I want. And I want him just out there just because Trump is funny. Trump is very funny, and I just find him, as dark as this is to say, I find him very funny. He makes me cackle. So there's going to be more of that. And just, and just Trump is just so 1980s. I mean, he just is. And I really came to that moment. And I'll end it with this because these are my final thoughts on the Trump presidency and something to always remember. I want to see more of Trump just being stuck in the 1980s. I really want just Trump he just is so stuck in the fucking 80s, and he still thinks that in 2025 it is like it was in 1985, and that is not what reality is. But for fuck's sake, is he going to try to pretend and still live his life like it's 1980? Like literally, like with the whole bombing of the Tesla truck, which, like a Tesla truck looks like Kanye West in a car. I've said that before. But the fucking Tesla truck blowing up on the Vegas Strip in front of his hotel, I'm just sitting there watching the news coverage, and I'm just like, this is so fucking 80s. So Trump's hotel in Vegas, I know a little bit about Vegas. It's one of my favorite places. Trump's hotel is technically not on the Strip. It's on a lot that has Strip access, that's like on the Strip, but where his hotel is built, it's on the back end of that lot. So it's like it's about a block off the Strip, and it's across the street from the fucking Fashion Show Mall. I mean, and then the part that is on the Strip is like a paved parking lot that's like not even used. So it's like a bunch of pavement with like his thing, and then across the street is a fucking mall. Like, how fucking 80s is that? And then the other part that's not lost on me is across the other street from the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas is a bunch of strip clubs, which, hey, nothing wrong with that. But the one that's catty-corner that a lot of the fucking media was in front of was a theater place where they put on puppet shows. And it is called Puppetry of the Penis. And it was in full background, and that place fucking knew they were on camera and had a fucking mascot on some of the news stuff. I caught it. But I'm like, Trump is so fucking 1980s. Like, it's so 1980s. It's so ridiculous. I don't even know. So with guys, with all that said, I hope you have a warm week. I hope this made you laugh. I love doing it. I love roasting the fuck out of Trump. I might do more. But guys, with that said, make sure you take care of yourself, take care of each other. You know, like I said in the beginning, disengage. Do not give our government the oxygen that they're taking from us right now. And just see through it. And with that, guys, I am beaming up to the UFO. It's cold here on Earth. Peace out.